Take the shirt you're wearing right now. Go ahead. Pinch the fabric between your fingers. You have no idea what's in it. And I don't mean that as some dramatic line to keep you watching. I mean it literally. That shirt could have passed through 20, maybe 30 different chemical baths before it ever touched your skin. Dyes, softeners, coatings, stain repellents. And not one of them is printed on the tag. There's no ingredient list. There's no law that says there has to be. We read the label on everything now. Our food, our shampoo, the little bottle of moisturizer on the bathroom counter. But the thing we wear against our skin for 16 hours a day, every single day, that one gets a pass. So a few months ago, I started pulling on that thread, and what I found genuinely changed what's hanging in my closet. Because some of the biggest, most trusted names in fashion are right now being investigated, sued, and forced to answer for what's actually woven into their clothes. Some of it you'll want to hear, some of it you won't. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to know exactly what to look for and the 3 words on a tag that tell you a piece is safe. Let's start with the part that surprised me most, because it's so obvious once you see it that you can't unsee it. Every product you buy has a story it's legally required to tell you. Food has a nutrition panel. Skincare lists its ingredients in that tiny, impossible font. Even a candle will tell you what it's made of. The whole point is simple. You have a right to know what you're putting in and on your body. Clothing skipped that memo. A brand can dip a shirt in a dozen chemical finishes to make it softer, brighter, wrinkle-free, water-resistant, and legally tell you nothing. The tag says 95% cotton, 5% elastane. That's it. Like, that's the whole confession. It tells you the fibers. It says nothing about what was poured over those fibers to get them looking and feeling the way they do on the rack. And here's the uncomfortable part. Like the reason those finishes exist usually isn't for you. It's for the margin. It is dramatically cheaper to make clothing out of synthetic, chemically treated fabric than out of clean, natural material. When a brand can double or triple its profit by switching from real cotton to treated polyester, that's the choice most of them quietly make. And then all that extra money doesn't go into safer materials. It goes into marketing. Into the ad, the influencer, the perfectly lit shot of someone who looks incredible in leggings, flexing at the camera, selling you a feeling. You think you're buying quality. A lot of the time, you're buying the ad. Now, I want to be fair here, because fair is the whole point of this channel. Not every chemical is dangerous. Your body is tougher than the internet gives it credit for. The question was never, is there anything on my clothes? Of course there is. The real question is which chemicals, how much, and whether the amount sitting against your skin all day actually matters. So I stopped guessing, and I went looking for the cases where somebody with a lab and a subpoena had already done the testing. That's where this stops being a theory and starts being a paper trail. Here's the thing about a rumor. A rumor you can wave off. A lawsuit is harder to wave off. And an investigation opened by a state government is a whole different animal because those don't get filed over nothing. So let me walk you through what's actually on the record. Not TikTok, not I heard, the record. Let's start with the one that made me sit up, because it's a brand that built its entire identity on wellness, on health, on the idea that, like, when you put on their clothes, you're doing something good for your body. In the spring of 2026, the Attorney General of Texas opened a formal investigation into Lululemon. The reason, whether the activewear this $11 billion wellness brand sells might contain PFAS, the group of synthetic compounds you've probably heard called forever chemicals. The investigation is looking at whether the products their health-conscious customers trust actually match the safe, clean image the brand sells them. Sit with the irony of that for a second. The brand you buy, specifically because you're trying to take care of yourself, is the one under the microscope. Lululemon, for the record, says it does not use PFAS in its products and phased them out years ago. And that matters. It deserves to be said clearly, and I'm saying it. But an attorney general doesn't open an investigation into your supply chain because everything's obviously fine. And Lululemon is not alone, not even close. Attorneys have been circling a whole lineup of activewear names, investigating whether the leggings sold under some of the biggest brands in the world contain those same forever chemicals. The ones that independent research has linked over years of exposure to hormone disruption, fertility problems, and yes, elevated cancer risk. We're not talking about some off-brand you've never heard of. We're talking about the names on the leggings in half the gyms in America. Then there's the other chemical, BPA. You know that name from plastic water bottles? The reason BPA-free became a selling point overnight. It's what's called an endocrine disruptor, meaning it can interfere with your hormones. Well, an environmental health group ran testing on sports bras and athletic shirts from a long list of major brands, big, familiar, trusted names, and reported finding BPA at levels that, in some cases, blew past California's safety limit many times over. Sports bras, the thing worn tight against the skin during exercise when your body is hot and your pores are open and you're sweating. Which, as it happens, is exactly the condition under which certain chemicals leach out of fabric and onto you. And this isn't only an American story. Governments are already moving. France banned PFAS in clothing starting in 2026. Several US states have brought in their own textile restrictions. The UK launched its first national plan to deal with these chemicals. Think about what that means. Regulators, slow, cautious, allergic to acting early, looked at the evidence and decided they couldn't wait. That's not a vibe. That's not fear-mongering. That's the system responding to something real. So no, this isn't paranoia. It's a pattern. And once you see the shape of it, you start looking at your own closet very differently. So the chemicals are real and the biggest names are the ones getting named. But here's the question that actually kept me up. How does this stuff get from a factory into me? Because your skin isn't a sealed wall. It's more like a screen door. Think about the products designed to work through your skin on purpose. A nicotine patch, a hormone patch. They exist because your skin absorbs. It takes things in. That's not a flaw, it's just biology. So when you wrap that same skin in fabric that's been treated with chemical finishes, and then you add the three things that make anything leach faster: heat, moisture, and friction. You've built the perfect delivery system, and you're wearing it to the gym. That's why activewear keeps coming up in every one of these cases. It's not a coincidence, it's the exact worst case scenario. Tight fit means constant friction. Exercise means heat and sweat. And moisture wicking, water resistant, stain proof, those aren't magic. Those properties come from chemistry. The very features you're paying extra for are, in some cases, the reason the chemical is there in the first place. And then there's the part almost nobody connects. Your skin has its own tiny ecosystem living on it, a community of bacteria that, believe it or not, actually keeps your skin healthy. It helps produce the natural oils that keep you hydrated, that hold your skin barrier together, that keep everything calm and functioning. It's the reason skincare brands are always adding ceramides to their products. They're trying to fake what your own skin already makes for free. Now, here's the problem. Certain chemical residues sitting in fabric, the kind used in synthetic dyes and finishes, can disrupt that little ecosystem. They can shut down the very system that keeps your skin balanced. So picture the full loop. You put on a treated fabric, it sits against warm, sweating skin all day. It quietly interferes with the bacteria that keep your skin healthy. And then you stand in front of the mirror wondering why you're breaking out, why you've got a rash that won't quit, why your skin feels irritated and dry no matter what expensive cream you throw at it. We've been treating the symptom, buying more serums, more creams, more work our products to fix a problem that for some people was never coming from inside. It was coming from the thing they got dressed in that morning. I'm not telling you every skin issue is your wardrobe. That would be exactly the kind of overreach I promised you I wouldn't do. But I am telling you, it's peace. Almost nobody puts on the table. And once it's on the table, some things start to make a lot more sense. Now, this is the part where I have to be really honest with you, because there's a trap on both sides of the story, and I don't want us falling into either one. Yes, the chemicals are real. Yes, the lawsuits and the investigations are real, but fear is also a business, and there is an entire industry that has figured out it can sell you a solution by first selling you a panic. Here's how the machine works, and once you see it, you'll spot it everywhere. Somebody runs a scary sounding test, sometimes under conditions that would never happen in real life, like heating a product to temperatures it would only reach baking in a locked car in the desert. The alarming number comes out, the headline writes itself, and then, right on cue, somebody appears ready to sell you the safe, clean, detoxified version of the exact thing they just scared you about. Sometimes the same people raising the alarm are the ones holding the solution. A financial motive doesn't automatically mean the science is wrong. I want to be clear about that. Both things can be true at once. The chemistry can be real and the panic can be exaggerated. That's not a contradiction. That's just the messy truth, and the messy truth is the only kind worth telling. So I'm not here to tell you to throw open your closet and trash everything you own. That's not science, that's a mood, and it usually ends with you spending money you didn't need to spend. What I'm asking you to do is the boring, powerful thing: weigh it. Know which chemicals actually matter. Know which items sit against your skin the longest and leach the most. Know the difference between a headline designed to scare you and a fact designed to inform you. Because the goal was never to make you afraid of your clothes. The goal is to make you impossible to fool by the brands hiding the chemicals and by the people selling you the cure. So let's turn all of this into something you can actually use. Here's the good news, and it's genuinely good. You don't need a chemistry degree or a fortune to protect yourself. You need a few rules, and most of them are free. Rule 1, and this is the easiest win of your life: wash new clothes before you wear them. Every time, no exceptions. A huge share of the loose chemical residue, the leftover dye, the surface finish comes out in that very first wash. That new clothes smell, that's not new, that's chemistry, and that the first wash is you telling it to leave. Y'all, if you do nothing else after this video, do that. Rule 2, learn to read a tag like you read a nutrition label. When you can, lean toward natural fibers: real cotton, linen, wool, hemp. And here are those 3 words I promised you at the start, the ones that tell you a piece has been vetted. On cotton, look for the phrase certified organic. It means the fabric was held to a real standard that keeps the harshest chemical dyes and finishes out. It's not marketing fluff shum. It's a bar the product actually had to clear. And you can find it at normal stores at normal prices. Even the big everyday retailers carry it now, if you know to look. Rule 3, get suspicious of the buzzwords, especially on anything you'll sweat in. Stain resistant, water repellent, wrinkle free, moisture wicking. Those aren't features that appear by magic, they're chemistry. That doesn't make every single one dangerous, but it does make them worth a second thought, particularly on activewear and underwear, the stuff living against your skin during heat and sweat. Rule 4, you don't have to burn your wardrobe down. Just be smart about the front line. The items that sit tightest, longest, and closest, leggings, sports bras, underwear, what you sleep in, those are where a cleaner choice actually pays off. Your jacket, your coat, the thing with a layer between it and your skin, way down the list. Spend your energy where your skin actually touches. And the last rule is the simplest one of all. Ask the question. Just start asking. What is this made of? What was it treated with? Why won't the brand tell me? You're allowed to want an answer. And the more of us who start asking out loud, the harder it gets for any of them to keep the tag blank. So here's where I've landed after all of it. I didn't throw out my closet. I'm not scared of my clothes. But I look at that tag completely differently now. And there are a few things I used to buy without a second thought that I just don't anymore. Not out of panic, out of knowing better. That's the whole thing. Not fear, just eyes open. The brands were counting on you not to check, on the tag staying blank and the question never getting asked. Yeah, and the loudest voices online are counting on the opposite, on you panicking hard enough to buy whatever clean thing they're selling. The move, the only real move extent time, is to be the person neither side can play. Now I want to know where you land. Are you gonna start reading your tags? Or is this one step too far into the rabbit hole for you? Tell me honestly in the comments. I read them, and this is the conversation I actually want to have. And if this made you look at your closet even a little differently, do one thing for me. Pass it to the person who buys the most clothes in your life. They're going to want to know this. I'll see you in the next one.